Welcome, pilots! Having completed the only Level 1 Gallente Cosmos mission chain, Cosmos Cramer is now sitting at a standing of 1.7 with the Gallente Federation. To talk to normal Level 2 mission agents, you only need a standing of 1. Let's find out if Cosmos agents actually do have the higher standings requirement of 2. The other Cosmos agent at the Natura Seminary, Preaux Gallot, tells us that she has no jobs available. Looking at the Agent Info tab, it only says this agent provides missions to any pilot that meets standings requirements. We get the same reaction from both Istvia Lamouette and Pandin Ardelin at the Ebony Tower in Barmalie. So it looks like Cosmos Cramer will have to get his Gallente Federation standings above 2 before he continues his adventure. In the first episode of the series, I mentioned that the graduation certificate missions were also available at the federal data centers in Abaninc and Muir. Vassit Herrier is the Level 1 distribution agent in Abaninc, and Mireille Igier is the related agent in Muir. Completing these two missions bumps us up from 1.7 to a standing of 1.84. Another quick way of gaining faction standings is through the career agent missions. The shortest of these is the Exploration Career Path, with only 5 missions. Completing this chain a second time, but for another starter NPC corporation, bumps us up to a standing of 1.98. So close! So Cosmos Cramer heads back to Abaninc to talk to the Level 1 security agent at the Federal Data Center in Abaninc. Agent Wenda Lamorte is looking for 3 Serpentis copper tags, which we've bought off the market. This gives us the bump we need, to a standing of 2.12. We head back to the Natura Seminary in Auderne to see if Preaux Gallot will stop giving us the cold shoulder. First of all, do you have something for me? If you know what I'm talking about, then hand it over, please. If you don't, then I'm sorry, but I don't have anything for you. Looks like Preaux here is being a little cryptic, but the objectives give us a clue that she's looking for some FON strike scene evidence. So we head over to the Ebony Tower in Barmalie. First we talk to Istvia Lamouette, who seems to be looking for a letter from Preaux. And finally we talk to Pandin Ardelin, the Level 2 security agent working for the Scope, who is willing to talk to us without any other requirement. On the trail. Here's the deal. I'm a senior journalist for the Scope, and I'm working on an in-depth piece about the Workomi project in this constellation, and the Friends of Nature's struggle to counteract their plans. It's a big piece, and I have several reporters working on different strands in different places, so assistance from fast-moving capsule pilots such as yourself is always needed. As a matter of fact, I have a job for you right now if you want it. One of my reporters just completed a few interviews with Cola-Lee project workers who were on break from the project at the Workomi factory in Flukel. He says he managed to get some juicy tidbits from them about the way Workomi handles its workers. Grist for the cause, to mangle a metaphor. Bring me back the interview transcripts from Flukel, and I'll pay you as much as the agency allows me to dole out. How about it? Sure, Pandin. And here they are, interview transcripts describing the trials and tribulations of daily life as a worker for the Workomi project. Such titillating details! It seems the Workomi Corporation isn't being entirely forthcoming when it comes to their labor practices. That was some very interesting material you brought back from Flukel. So good, in fact, that I feel a sudden, almost physical urge to follow up on it. One of my top reporters just came in from Orselaire. I want you to take him to the Workomi factory in Jolia, where some highly classified contacts are waiting for him. Since Workomi won't give us the straight dope, we're going to have to turn to alternative sources. Take my guy to Jolia and I'll see to it that you're rewarded handsomely. At 5 cubic meters, this Scope journalist is either a giant or has some serious girth. Taxi service complete. Something fishy's going on here. Word just came in over the feednet. Apparently, an FON strike squad staged an attack on a surveillance outpost in Cola-Lee belonging to Temco, a mercenary organization contracted by Workomi to protect their holdings and help them gain a foothold in this constellation. This doesn't feel right at all. First, FON doesn't engage in out-and-out terrorism. Their battles take place on political ideological fronts. Second, had it been FOM, why would they advertise that fact? Their tactic is the swaying of public opinion, not the destruction of their opponents' assets. This has all the hallmarks of a frame-up. An old friend of mine who's well connected in this area says he managed to obtain the data core from one of the attacking ship's computers as it was brought in by salvager vessels. If we can get it into the hands of our specialists here, they might be able to extract some clues regarding the attackers' real identities and intentions. Head out to Parchanier and get me that data core. A lot may be riding on this. And here's the salvage data core from the alleged FON cruiser. Back to Pandan to see if she can get any clues from it. Okay, it's about to hit the fan. We've stumbled onto something very, very bad indeed. It's so bad, in fact, that I'm not even going to come close to covering it in my article. The people behind this cannot know under any circumstances that we know about their plans. I can't tell you any more at the moment, but I'll tell you what I can do. I'm going to ask you for one more favor, and then I'm going to give you a contact within the FOM. They have some work they need done, and since they're generally not the traveling types, they could use a big strapping capsuleer to help them. But first, I need to ask you one more favor. I've collected the data I've accrued in the making of my article into one dossier, which I need brought to a safe place. Words just reached us that Workomi have this place under wraps, so I've become compromised. I'll have to jack in and do the rest of this remotely. Bring my dossier to my contact in Parchanier, and I'll hand over our analysis of the evidence you got for us. It's bad, friend. It's real bad. Oh, the intrigue. Apparently, Ardalan's dossier here is 78 pages thick, encoded in ways that would make a supercomputer cry. Those poor supercomputers. Take this data chip. On it, you will find evidence that the Workomi Corporation have been engaging in terrorism against themselves in order to shift the public's opinion regarding both them and FON. It's not absolutely 100% reliable, but what is there seems solid enough. Bring this chip to Preaux Gallot in the Natura Seminary in Auderne. There is more to be done yet, and I have a feeling this is all just beginning. And here's the FON strike scene evidence that Preaux Gallot was looking for. The best way of conducting an investigation, of course, is to give crucial evidence to one of the potential suspects. In the next video, we'll find out how Preaux Gallot responds to the news that Workomi might be trying to make themselves a victim of Friends of Nature aggression. Thank you for watching my Gallente Cosmos mission guide. If you enjoy my content, please let me know in the comments or by subscribing to my channel. The more I'm aware that people are watching, the more likely I'll be to make time to continue producing content. I've also begun creating a parody news series based on the Gallente Cosmos missions. It's called the El Ginto Fake News Network. The first episode is loosely based on the events from the first Gallente mission chain from Part 4 of this series, titled Activist Fuel. Thanks again, and hope to see you back soon.